Hello and welcome to Member Musing, a video podcast series that will bring audiences closer to the insightful conversation on the state of the MENA leisure and entertainment industry, also throwing light on innovative services, products and achievements of Menalac members. Today, I am joined by Prakash Vivekanand, Managing Director of Amusement Services International and founding member of Menalac. Prakash, I'm so pleased to have you on Member Musing.
Good morning, Brooke. So happy to be on this. Good morning to all your audience, or hello, depending on which time zone they're in. Yeah.
Now, Amusement Services International is a leader within the leisure and entertainment industry. For over 20 years, ASI has been providing turnkey design, build, operate solutions for amusement facilities and creating fun spaces for businesses and, of course, their customers to enjoy. Prakash, can you give us a bit of background as to your journey within the leisure, entertainment and amusement industry, including the founding of ASI, but also can you tell me how you've grown over the years with the company?
Well, I'm a chemical engineer. I got into this industry by sheer accident, where I was organizing focused industry conferences, and I was suddenly charged with, or rather given to organize an amusement industry show, which I knew nothing about this industry or anything. But this industry is such a charm that when I started to learn more about this industry, I almost found my calling in this industry. And that's when I decided to, really get into this industry. I used to work for a corporate group here in Dubai in the early days in my amusement industry with MAF Leisure and Entertainment. And those days, they were the distributors for a renowned brand called Sega. So I used to work within the distribution division of the company, and also got to learn a lot with operations and working together with Magic Planet and everything else of those days at Dera City Center. And then I think in 1999, I got the opportunity to start something on my own. And that's how ASI was formed. And we wanted to be all about, we just realized that this industry is not about a single brand. It requires products from multiple brands to make this industry or make a family entertainment center or any sort of a leisure destination click. And then it's just not about investing in that equipment. It's also about operating it right, which means a lot of these facilities need to be well supported and serviced well. And that's when we decided the original name for us was actually Amusement Sales International. And then we decided, no, it's got to be about the service and the selling us the easy part, but servicing them and keeping these machines continuously making money is really should be the main ethos of our existence. And therefore, we then recoined the name as Amusement Services International. And actually, so we actually started as a company that supplies leisure and entertainment equipment, right? And then from that point on, it was a rough journey to begin with, obviously, as a startup. And I was in my probably early 20s at that point in time when I started. Big move for me. And but thankfully, we did all the right things. We built the right relationship. There were many in the industry who encouraged us and supported us. And then year on year, we kept making steady growth. We kept adding more products and more distribution lines and everything. And I think around 2003, we realized that, a lot of, architects and interior designers who are working in this business, especially with a lot of new investors who are coming in, they probably do not understand the amusement equipment very, very well. And many times we saw a conflict between the design of a facility and how the design functions vis-a-vis our amusement equipment, and how does that influence the customer journey and everything. So we then said, look, with our superior knowledge of machines, we need to be in a position where we're also able to design such facilities to be operationally efficient. And that's when we added the design division. And slowly, we started adding more on the support side of it, getting stronger understanding of operations and supporting our customers better. And then, 7-10 years down the line, we were identified as a company that offers end-to-end solutions for the leisure and entertainment business. A good name for us to have. But then we didn't stop at that. We kept enhancing our knowledge. We kept enhancing the level of service that we provide to our customers. And then we earned our name in this process. And as a company, we kept growing. The team has grown. When I started, I was the what can I say? I was the CEO and I was the logistics person. I was the accounting clerk and everything. From there on, as we grew, we started adding more people. We kind of grew organically. Today, we are a team of almost 100 people working at Amusement Service International, and it's been a fantastic journey. I'm blessed to have a wonderful team that also stayed very, very loyal, both to my company and to the industry. There's a saying about the leisure and entertainment industry that you spend 6 months in this industry, you probably won't leave this industry, right? But if you go beyond that 6 month period, but if you do leave the industry in the first 6 months, you never come back into this industry. So it's a real love or hate this industry. But for a lot of the people working at ASI, they all seem to have absolutely loved this industry, like me. Very passionate team, and they've all been with me for a long time, and we've all kind of aged together. We've learned together. We've complemented each other. So it's been a fantastic journey.
I've had a few guests on Member Musing who have said they love their job because of the smile that it puts on consumers' faces. And what you've just said there, Prakash, about ASI constantly growing, that must be a wonderful feeling to always be striving for a bigger smile from consumers. And that's what will keep you and your team going. And I really enjoy hearing all my guests tell me that the same thing. That's all they really strive for and want.
I would definitely agree with that. For us, when you speak to operating members, it's more, they are the ones who are invariably delivering that smile to the consumer, right? So we play a part in delivering great games, great products, great settings, and great environments to such operators who are then able to deliver that smile. So as a company, we have to be always aware of what will make the consumer smile, right? And then make sure that the operator is able to get something that'll make his consumer smile. So our success mostly been that understanding, right? The ability to understand the unique parameters of a customer's location, and then be able to cater to my customer's customer, right, or the end user. So and we've and what keeps us going, besides putting a smile on everyone's face, is that every project we do is unique in terms of not in terms of amusement equipment. They may all have the same type of machines, but in terms of design, every time we are telling a new story, right? Someone wants something as a shipwreck and inside of a ship or whatever, and someone wants something to look like a submarine or a rocket, and someone wants a space theme, and someone wants a jungle theme, right? Every time someone wants us to create a character and build a storyline around the character and design an entire facility around that. So when I speak to my architects, they all come from designing buildings and malls and retail stores and everything. When they come into our industry, they come and say, wow, I love this industry because every day I'm doing something new. I'm not doing the same store, same fit out, same houses, same apartments, same bedrooms. No, I'm doing something new. Every project that we do is unique in terms of geometry, in terms of size, in terms of ceiling heights, in terms of content and everything else, right? So, and that's something that puts a lot of smile on our faces. So, and then the ability to work ASI is in a fairly luxurious or an enviable position, in the sense that we've earned our respect, not just amongst customers in this region. We've also earned our respect with all our manufacturing partners. So today, to a large extent, when a manufacturer has got a new product ideation, that it's still a drawing, it's still a concept that's soon going to become a product or an attraction, whatever, they tend to involve ASI at a very early stage, right? The fact that we are then able to play a part in the development of an attraction and then tweak some of those things to suit the nuances of our region, the cultural requirements of our region, and then realize something that really works. And then we launch that product and it goes into a customer's location and makes money in that location, puts a smile on my customers' faces, and that gives us a lot of joy. So yeah, I mean, it's creative, it's doing something different, and that's what keeps us going.
I can absolutely imagine how creative it is. Now, ASI won Best Supplier at the Menalac Awards in March this year, 2023. In fact, this is the third consecutive year ASI have been awarded this honour. What does it mean to you, Prakash, and of course the rest of your team at ASI to be recognised by the Menalac Awards?
Wow. I mean, for years, I always felt that we had a fantastic team and we went above and beyond to serve our customers. For years, I would always wonder, why is it that, I have all these people winning the Best Architect of the Year award and the Best Customer Service awards and everything else. Why is it that we don't have an award program for the amusement industry that really recognizes what a distributor does or a supplier does or a solution provider does or a consultant does for our line of business? And I was so happy when Menalac eventually announced that they were going to come up with a gala and an awards program to recognize this players in this industry, to recognize companies in this industry. And then it's almost like it was not as though that, oh wow, the awards are here now I need to serve my customers better. We were always serving our customers exceptionally well. We never recognized for it. Our customers recognized for it, but we've not recognized as an industry for it, right? So when these awards eventually happened, and this was one award that we were so eager to win as a company, right? So the entire team, the moment these awards were announced, my entire team says, look, Prakash, we need to get this. What is it that we need to do? How do we need to work on this? So we just started a whole process of asking all our customers at the end of every sale for a testimonial, or following up with them to ask them, how did we fare? Did we deliver on time? Did we serve you on time? Did we take care of your spare part requests on time? And then we initiated a lot of things to really be in the customer's eye to kind of know that we are serving them well. And then I opened up certain channels for these customers to communicate directly with me in case any department within ASI were not living up to their expectations or whatever, right? So it just took that whole the service level within ASI to the service parameters within ASI to a whole new level, right? And when we won it the first time, my team was obviously elated. I was elated. Winning it for the first time is always a nice thing. But then we want to do it again. So we just kept this trend going. We won it for the second time, and then we won it for the third time, most recent awards. I mean, my team is overjoyed and I'm overjoyed. And it also puts a lot of stress on us now to say that we got to keep maintaining this level. I mean, we may win it the next time, we may not win it. There may be somebody else who's going to come and set the benchmark to a whole new level, which is perfectly valid and which is perfectly fair. But then that'll then spur us to do better and set a new benchmark and elevate our services even better, right? So I just hope we keep winning this all over again. It's a testament to what we do. It keeps us on our toes.
As you've said, Prakash, you know how well ASI is doing in yourself, and your team know that, and you hear that from your customers, but it's just that little cherry on top, as you would say, for the team to know that they're being recognised by Menalac, and obviously that goes out sort of worldwide as well as across the region to demonstrate how successful you are being. And you mentioned how excited ASI were. I was there at the awards last month, and I was close to the ASI table, and they shouted rather loudly, so you could see the genuine glee on their faces, and how excited they were to be given that award. And that was lovely to be a part of.
No, I was seated right in the front. I also have a role to perform as a board member of Menalac, so I had to maintain a very neutral face. But believe me, within me, I was equally erupting in joy. But then, wow, we've done it for the third time in a row. I just hope we can keep going. It's as you rightly mentioned, today you've got a churn in the industry in terms of there are a lot of newer operators and newer investors who are all coming in, and some of them maybe, and we're also expanding into newer markets, and some of them may not know ASI as well. But just the fact that just to have this accolade of being the best supplier of the year for 3 times in a row means a lot to us when we go into these markets and then tell them that these are the parameters because of which we win these awards, and because why we are recognized for what we do, right? And that will probably help these investors say, wow, I'm dealing with a good company. I'm dealing with an award-winning company. So it puts our industry requires a lot of initial investment. We are a very investment heavy industry to begin with, and then we have to recover this investment over a period of time. So, the amount of money that goes into making a leisure facility, you don't earn a penny until you open doors and start receiving customers, and you have to make this money over the next 3 or 4 years, right? So that product that we supply has to be backed with service and support. And this award lets people know that we've been doing that consistently, right? And that's why we would keep applying for this award, and we would try everything we can to win this award each year. It means a lot to us. Yeah.
Prakash, as you've been in the leisure, entertainment and amusement industry for many years now, as we've already talked about, you will have seen your fair share of trends. Trends are, of course, very important for companies to follow and consider so as to provide the most engaging experiences for customers. Now, I spoke to you, Prakash, at the Deal 2023 show just earlier this year, and you mentioned the concept of competitive socializing. I would love you to tell me a bit more about your perspective of competitive socializing. Is this an emerging trend that you feel businesses in the MENA region should be focusing on?
I think it's the generation of players that we're dealing with, right? So end of the day, it's all about the consumer, and we're dealing with a generation that we're all born into a connected era. They were all born into the internet era, and they grew up playing games online with their friends, and they kind of continue to do that. So it's no longer just sufficient for them to go with their family and play. They get a lot more joy and enjoyment when they play together with their friends. And it's also, there was someone else who coined this term called phono sapiens. Right. So the present generation is almost like not Homo sapiens, but they're more like phono sapiens, in the sense that they need to have everything integrated with their phone, and they need to take their phone everywhere with them. The phone is an integral part of all our lives. In fact, we've all become phono sapiens, but more so with the younger generation today. And so the competitive socializing kind of emerges from this entire thing to have more gamified experiences. When people go, they want to compete socially. They want to ensure that they are in a nice environment where they are able to eat, they're able to have a drink, and they're also able to play competitively with their friends, and then capture those victorious moments or disappointing moments, both, right, socially on their phones, and then be able to share these socially, right? And that's where this trend has emerged from. I think competitive socializing is really advanced. If you take the UK, for example, or even North America, for example, you have a lot of venues. I think in this part of the world, and most of these venues tend to be venues that also serve alcohol. In this part of the world, it has been a little slower coming in, but it's something that's really trending at this point. Everybody wants to create venues like that. We were lucky to be involved with a fantastic project called Wave House, which was a competitive socializing environment in an arcade that we created in Atlantis, the Palm, where we had a fantastic restaurant concept, but also had an arcade concept that was more pitched at the younger generation. We were more pitched at the 21 plus age group. But then the success of that Wave House is just not only resonated with the 21 plus age group, but it's also resonated with young parents, right, who are able to go down there, have a brunch, and then engage with their kids and bring the kid in them outside. So that we've seen that in the Wave House. Following that, we did another concept called the Central in Abu Dhabi. That was successful. You look at Topgolf today. Topgolf has been a roaring success in here. You've got weekend wait times of about 2.5 to 3 hours to get a bay. And if you profile the audience of Topgolf, majority of the audience are kind of 17 plus, but mostly the 21 plus age group is what goes in there. So competitive socializing is definitely here to stay. And it's a trend where you bring people together, you give them a fantastic environment for them to be in, and also give them the right games for them to socialize together. Now, when we talk competitive socializing, taking an existing game and gamifying it even better, not the game itself, but just what the scoring does to the game, and how does it let, if Brooke and I are to be playing a game, how does it let you know that you're the loser, I'm the winner, or I'm the loser, you're the winner, and how we able to capture those moments, and how does it allow for Brooke or Prakash to be able to share that score or take that score and share it with other friends and bring more people in. So that seems to be trend. I mean, we have another nice concept in Brass Monkey, which many people may be aware of in Dubai, a fantastic bowling center. And that's another fantastic, competitive socializing venue. And you've got more and more of these kind of concepts coming up. When people are talking about darts, people are talking about shuffleboards, people are talking about crazy golf coming in different formats. People are talking about, paddle tennis courts within an F&B surround, right? So in terms of, and making gamifying that entire element so that it can bring in more trendy youngsters to come in and play. I mean, it's all about the gamification and your ability to socialize. When I say socialize, it's just not the socializing that you would have with your friends, but it's also the ability to connect your performance in there on social media and then be able to share it with your friends. And that's where this competitiveness comes in. We are looking at a generation of players who are extremely competitive in everything that they do. That's because it's kind of that competitiveness is embedded in them. So, and that it's clearly a trend that's going to continue to grow.
That's a really interesting point, and I actually agree now that you said it, Prakash. It's about the generation, and of course I think a lot of the consumers within the leisure and entertainment industry are families with those younger children, but actually if you look at the parents of those children nowadays, they've grown up, I would say, like myself. I'm not a parent, but I am of perhaps a parent age. I could have younger children, where I would also want to, enjoy things like VR, and that's kind of competitive socializing, perhaps with my peers of my own age, and the younger children as well. And I've been to those venues actually that you've just mentioned there, the ones in Dubai. I went with people of a similar age to myself and we had a great time. I'm not a competitive person, but I did enjoy it. And so having you sort of explain competitive socializing and how you see it within the future of the industry actually makes a lot of sense when I think about it from my perspective as the consumer.
I mean, it's almost the other trend coming on the backbone of competitive socializing is, it's the ability to create communities. Now, if you look at how home gaming is developed with internet connectivity, they were able to build communities. They were able to create 200 players playing together, and then out of which 6 or 7 could be friends who know each other, and the 194 may not know each other, but it's still a community that they develop, right? So this community development is what is going to help elicit a lot more repeat visits from the same customer, and then build that into a competitive socializing hub. We recently at Deal Show, over COVID, we were always selling pinballs. Are you familiar with pinballs?
Yes.
Okay, so pinballs, we never sold much pinballs in this market, right? So over COVID, we then saw an increased demand for pinballs in this market, because people were confined to their houses and they wanted to bring some element of leisure and entertainment or arcade into their houses. We've seen a trend where people are all going towards retro arcade games and everything. So pinball was something that was much sought after, and not just here, but globally, the sales for pinball went through the roof. One of the developers of this, one of the best known manufacturers in the world of pinballs, created a whole new gamification of that pinball with an app that he developed called Insider Connect. Now, this allowed people to simply connect using their phones on the pinball to the pinball, and then be able to play with other players around the world. Now, and so you're in your house and you're competing against someone else elsewhere, and you want to be on top of the leaderboard, and you then started earning more power-ups, and you had more features unlocked and everything else onto your app and everything else. So that just made you more, you set a high score, and you now became socially very relevant because of the fact that you were now sharing this with all your friends and everything. Now, we started seeing an increase in number of sales for pinballs, and we thought they were all going into the home market. as we started looking a little bit deeper into who are our customers who are buying these pinballs, and because sales are really improving, and then we found out that there's a whole community of pinballers in the UAE, and we didn't even know about them. And we decided to invite them all for a little friendly competition during Dean Show 2023 at our stand. And we were surprised to see the turnout, right? And we met with all these pinball fanatics, pinball addicts, who were all so keen to participate in the tournament and set a high score. And one of them came and told me that, you know what, Prakash, this would be great. We all have pinballs in our houses, but we don't have a space that we can go to where, you know, you would have all of these pinballs and the big leaderboard on top through this Insider Connect app where we all come in and register high scores. You're able to run leagues down there. We would love for you to create a venue like that. And now I'm on the lookout for a venue where I could line up 5-6 pinballs. Now I've got probably a 700-member community who are keen to come in, participate, and then probably spend on the F&B in this particular venue, right? So, and we're on the verge of signing one, and we could probably be expanding more and more of this. Now, this is a great example of creating a community in a competitive socializing environment, which could not only benefit the revenue that these pinballs take, but also benefit the larger venue in terms of F&B sales, right? So this is just one such example. I mean, people have done this with shuffleboards, people have done this with darts, as I mentioned. People are taking pool tables and air hockey tables to a whole new level. I think, was it, the Pong Cafe, which just took a simple table tennis game and positioned in a bar and built a whole competitive socializing environment around, ping pong, right? So it's really about building these communities. It's really competitive socializing leads to building these communities, and these communities can then translate as repeat business visitation, especially if you get the gamification right.
There's some really interesting stuff there, Prakash, as you began speaking about competitive socializing. You can then see how actually there are other branches of that sort of core idea. There are other trends, perhaps, like you say, the community and building those communities. You just touched upon food and beverages there, and how actually that's another sector of the businesses that we have in the industry, and something that they, I'm sure, want to consider. As we wrap up,
F&B is probably more relevant than ever in creating today's location-based entertainment venues. So we always urge all our customers to look at a good quality F&B offering, which is an experiential offering. It's the experience is just not just in the games, but is also in the overall ambience and the F&B included, right? And today you've got, but thanks to programs like MasterChef and everything, you've got a lot of creative chef talent in pretty much every part of the MENA region, because they have localized versions of the MasterChef down there, and so many more people. I mean, today, being innovative in your culinary skills is something that everybody wants to do, and even the normal person wants to present whatever they do at home way better than they used to, let's say 10 years ago. So you've got a lot of opportunity to create unique F&B offerings and complement them with a great environment, and that is really the success formula.
Some really key things there, Prakash, and it'll be nice to sort of watch for the rest of 2023 and going into 2024. Those trends developing, and perhaps, we might have a conversation at the end of 2024 about some new trends that you can see. But it's been fantastic to have your knowledge and insight, Prakash. So thank you for joining me today to talk about the leisure and entertainment industry.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I hope there are some good takeaways from this entire thing. And thank you, Menalac, and thank you, Brooke, for listening to me patiently and for your wonderful questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely, Prakash. To our audience, please check the description section of this episode, where you will find links to Amusement Services International's website and social media pages, as well, of course, as Menalac's website and social medias, to access a range of resources about the leisure, entertainment and amusement industry, including news and updates, but also information on how to become a Menalac member. Thank you to our audience for joining me on Member Musing. If you haven't listened to our other podcast episodes, What are you waiting for? Go ahead and click on a previous episode now to delve into another engaging conversation about the MENA's region's leisure, entertainment and amusement industry. Bye for now.